You say I make you nervous, a tragedy, I'm a beautiful disaster, a reckoning. You wonder how I got this way. You think I'm someone to be saved.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm super excited. I have a very easy fall makeup tutorial for you guys, and it's using all Wet n Wild products, so it's affordable as well, which I'm so excited about. And I'm even more excited because this video is in partnership with Wet n Wild, so thank you so much for sponsoring this video. So today I'll be sharing with you some of the new collection that Wet n Wild has released for the fall time and Halloween season. If you guys are new to my channel, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so we can stay connected and you can catch my next video. And if you guys did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up because that always helps out. Otherwise, if you guys want to see how I get this easy fall time makeup look here, then just keep on watching. Alright guys, so first off, I'm going in with the Wet n Wild Photofocus foundation, and I'm using the shade Golden Beige, and I'm just taking that all over my face using the little spatula, and then I will go in and blend that out with the Wet n Wild sponge. This was my first time trying this sponge, and I absolutely enjoyed it. It was super soft, and it blended out the foundation seamlessly. I really like the flat end to do my foundation, and as you can see, it just blended out everything nice and evenly. And the great thing about this sponge is it's only $3.99, so it's so affordable. This is also a very nice foundation if you like a matte finish. For me personally, I prefer more of a luminous finish, but it has a nice coverage. And then I'm going in with the Wet n Wild concealer, and this is in the shade Light Honey. And this was actually my first time trying this concealer as well, and it was so nice. It had great coverage. It did dry pretty matte. I still went ahead and set it just because I always set my concealer, but it does dry fast, so you just have to work with it one eye at a time. And as you can see, it just blurred out any imperfections, brightened up my under eye, and just has really nice coverage. So I was pretty impressed by this concealer as well. So I went ahead and concealed and brightened my under eye area as well as the eyelids just for a base. And then I'm also highlighting the center of the face, so just down the bridge of the nose, the cupid's bow, center of the forehead and chin, just to help brighten up the face and kind of balance everything out. And as you can see, this sponge just blends out everything seamlessly. And then I'm going to go into the Wet n Wild contour palette, and this is in the shade Caramel Toffee, and I'm taking like this banana shade to set my under eye concealer. So I just go ahead and tap that out to make sure there's no creasing, and then I go in with a light dust of this powder, and it set the concealer very, very nicely. This is actually one of my favorite products from Wet n Wild. I love this contour palette. I feel like it has a nice banana shade as well as a contour shade. So now I'm going to go in with the contour shade, and I'm going to warm up my skin. And a little bit really goes a long way with this product, so just take your time when warming up the skin. I just like to use this on a big fluffy brush just to warm up my face, bronze up my cheeks. I feel like this works better as a bronzer rather than a contour shade just because it is so warm. So I just take that to my apples of my cheeks, to the jawline. I like to take that to the perimeter of the hairline and temples just to really warm up the skin and give me that nice sun-kissed look. Even though it's fall, I still want to look like I have been sitting out in the sun. I like to take a little bit to the bottom lip as well, just to give it more of like a pouty effect. And then I also bronze up the nose and kind of contour just like the bridge of the nose and the tip of the nose, just to kind of snatch everything up, make sure everything is nice and balanced. And then I go back in with the banana shade just to kind of blend that out and make sure it's not too harsh. And for highlight, I'm going in with the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Powder in the shade Precious Petals. And this is one of my all-time favorite highlighters, especially from the drugstore. I feel like this is hands down one of the best ones. It has such a nice formula. It just blends seamlessly on the skin. It doesn't enhance like any texture or pores. I feel like it's not chunky or glittery, and it's such a beautiful shade. It kind of has like a pinkish champagne undertone, and as you can see, it just highlights the cheekbones so gorgeously. So I'm just taking this to all of the high points of the face, to the tip of the nose, bridge of the nose, cupid's bow, and of course the cheekbones. And as you can see, it just gives you a gorgeous glow. And for blush, I'm going in with the Wet n Wild Coloricon Shade Shifting Blush. This is one of the new blushes for the fall and Halloween season, and this is in the shade Vampy. And as you can see in the pan, it looks like a burgundy or maroon color, but once you put it on the cheeks, it actually goes on more of like a peachy pink shade, and this is like right up my alley. I absolutely loved the color of this blush. It does have a shimmery finish, so if you are not into shimmery blushes, you know, just know that. I personally like a shimmery finish for the blush. I just feel like it sits so nicely on the apples of the cheeks. So I just pat that on kind of heavily onto the apples of the cheeks and then I like to go in with a stippling brush and I just kind of soften the edges. I feel like this just gives it more of like an airbrushed finish, and just makes sure that your bronzer, your highlight, and your blush are all kind of blending seamlessly together. So as you can see, this just gives you a nice flush to the cheeks, and I love the way this looks.
You think I'm someone to be saved, someone to clean up and tame, oh, some things.
And for eyeshadows today, I'm going in with the Wet n Wild Coloricon. This is the Rosé in the Air palette, and I'm starting off with the transition shade, and as you can see, it's just like the perfect transition color. It's like a nice warm toned soft brown, and I'm just dusting that into my crease and like the outer corner and just really diffusing this color. So just take your time with building this up. You just really want to be this to be soft and blown out, and then I also take that to the lower lash line as well, just using that same brush. Again, we don't want anything too harsh or dramatic. And then I'm going to go in with the Wet n Wild. This is actually a paint palette, and this is in the shade, let me see, Neutrals, and I'm taking this gorgeous brown color and I'm taking that like on a flat concealer brush, and I'm actually using this as an eyeshadow base. So I'm just packing that on my lid, and you can just start like blending that out as you go. As you can see, it's very creamy, it's very pigmented, it doesn't go on patchy, so I'm just kind of patting it onto the lid just to make sure everything is nice and even. And then I take like a tapered blending brush and I just start blending out the edges of this cream. You can use this cream product in many different ways, but the way that I found worked best for me was like actually as a cream shadow or a base. You can leave it as it is, but of course I wanted to kind of go out and go in and blend this a little bit further. So I'm going in with like that orangey warm tone color and just blending out the edges, just to give the eyes a little bit more depth and warmth. And then I'll go in with the darker brown shade in the palette, and I'm going to set the lid just so we don't have any creasing. Make sure that cream product doesn't budge, and it's also going to darken up the look just a little bit. So I'm just patting this onto the lid with a flat shader brush, and of course you just want to make sure this is nice and pigmented, and then just blend out those edges to make sure that one color blends seamlessly from one to the next. We want like a nice gradient from the dark to the lighter shades. And as you can see, this is just like the perfect fall time eye look. I feel like it's nice and like not too dramatic, but it has kind of like a little bit of a statement eye. It's very achievable. And then same thing on the lower lash line. I'm just going in and deepening that up a little bit with that warm orange toned eyeshadow, and then going in with the dark brown eyeshadow on a flat definer brush just to really define the lower lash line. I'm only taking this in about halfway or maybe like 2/3 of the way. I'm not defining all the way across on the lower lash line, but this is just going to give your eyes a little bit more definition and make sure everything is cohesive from the lid to the lower lash line. And then I'm taking this gorgeous cream shade. It's a matte shade, and I'm just using this on my brow bone just to highlight, and this will also make sure you clean up any edges where you might not have blended. So I feel like this just is like almost an eraser shade, and then I make sure that that blends nicely together. And then I'm taking this shimmery champagne shade, and I'm highlighting the tear duct with this, and I'm also dragging it on like the first maybe like inner third of the lower lash line just for a little bit of shimmer, and it's going to really open up the eyes. And then you can just throw on some lashes, and then I'm going in with the lips. This is my favorite part of the look. This is the Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuit in the shade Hexcellent. This color is absolute fire and like the all-time perfect fall color. Like, it's so vampy and bold, and as you can see, it's so pigmented. Like, it just goes on perfectly with one swipe across the lips. So I'm absolutely in love. But basically, this is the completed look. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching as always, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.